Good afternoon, students. Let's start the class. In the previous lecture, we have learned about the least cost method of transportation problem. Okay, and today we will go through to the Vogel approximation method. Today we will learn Vogel approximation method, which is also called VAM method. So, in this VAM method, we will take an example and we will solve it. Okay. So, here first we will see the steps involved to solving the VAM method of transportation. So, let us see what are the steps involved in VAM method. So, let's start. Here we have some steps and one thing more, the total transportation cost obtained by VAM method is more optimal than the two other methods, that are least cost method and NWCM method. And this method is also preferred over these two methods. Means the total transportation cost is most suitable by the VAM method rather than the NWCM method and LCM method. Okay. The feasible solution obtained by VAM method is optimal or closer to optimal. Means the feasible solution, or you can say that initial basic feasible solution obtained by VAM method is either optimal or very closer to optimal. That's why when I was telling about the methods of transportation problem, so I told you that if there is any question comes in your exam which is related to your optimality test, any question if comes in your exam your optimality test and accurate result. Yeah, you can also apply either NWCM method or LCM method. But if you will apply the VAM method, then the total transportation cost will be more optimal. Or you can say that this is the process by which you can reduce your cost at most. We will also see an example after the VAM method in the next lecture, or when we will get a turn, that is how VAM and WCM and LCMs are reduce the cost. Okay, so let us see what are the steps in VAM methods. So step 1, compute a penalty for each row and column in the transportation table. Compute a penalty for each row and column in the transportation table. So how you will compute this penalty? Okay. So let us first see, here a transportation table is given here, in which we have to find solution using Vogel's approximation method. So this is a transportation method, and you have to find the penalty of each row and each column. So how you will get this penalty? You will select the two least cost in row and column. Okay. Suppose that in the first row, here S1 is your first row. So you will select two least cost in this row. So here what are these two least cost? There are 19 and 10. So we will reduce the 10 from 19. We will reduce the 10 from 19. It means from the second large number, we will reduce the uh, smaller number. Okay, so here 19 is the second largest and second smallest, and 10 is smallest. So we will subtract the smallest number from the second smallest number. So we will reduce 10 from 19. So what will become? That will be 9. So 9 is penalty for your row 1. Similarly, in the second row, we will select two least cost. So in the second row, 30 and 40 are two least cost. So here 40 is second smallest number and 30 is smallest number. So we will reduce 30 from the 40. We will reduce 30 from the 40. So how much will become? 10 will become. So 10 will be your penalty for the row S2. Similarly, for S3, you will calculate the penalty. Means by subtracting 8 from 20, you will get 12. You will get 12. Okay. So these are the penalties for your row. Similarly, you will get penalty for the columns also. So in the columns, let us see D1. Okay. So 19 and 40 are two least costs. So we will reduce smallest cost from the second smallest. The second smallest is 40. So we will reduce 40 to 19. Okay, so 40 minus 19, what will become? 21. Similarly, we will subtract from D2, D3 and D4. So just like this, we will get the penalties. Okay, we will get the penalties. Now, what about the second step? Identify the row or column with the largest penalty. Now, after getting the penalties in the row and column, we will select the penalty which have largest. We will select that column or row which has largest penalty. Okay, and on that row or column which has largest penalty, we will select the minimum per unit transportation cost. We will select the minimum per unit transportation cost, and on that cell we will allocate the minimum of demand and supply. Okay, let us, I'm writing here. After identifying the row or column with the largest penalty, we will select we will select the minimum per unit transportation cost on that row or column. Okay, and now we will we will allocate minimum between minimum minimum of, I write in the bracket, supply comma demand. Okay, we will allocate the minimum of supply and demand. Means which will be the minimum we will allocate. Either it could be supply or demand. Okay, after that, after allocating this, we will, if if the supply or demand is exhausted, if any one of the supply or demand is exhausted, then we again go, again we will repeat the step 1 and 2. Okay, again go to the step 1 and 2. Let us see, this is the steps of solving WAM method. Now let us see an example. This is an example. Okay, we will solve this transportation problem by web method. Okay, so I since in the PPT there is very tough to calculate the numbers. So I am writing this problem in the Excel. So I have write down this problem in the Excel sheet. Okay. So this is the problem where demand and supplies are given here. Where demand and supplies are given. And S1, S2, S3. Suppose that S1, S2 and S3 are your plant or factory or the source from where you have to send your product. Okay, S1, S2 and S3s are your source or plant or factory from where you have to send the product. And D1, D2, D3 and D4 are the destination, or you can say that your dealer, or you can say the market where you have to send your product. S1, S2, S3 are from where, and okay, D1, D2, D3, D4 up to. So now, what are the maximum capacity to supply the product for different plant? Okay, so uh, for plant S1, the maximum capacity of supply the product is 7, and for plant S2, as the plant S2 can supply 9 units, plant S3 can supply 18 units. Okay, so total capacity of all the three plants are 34. Means after adding all these quantities, we will get 34. It means the total supply of the all of the plant is 34. Now, what about the demand? The dealer 1 has demand of 5 units. The dealer 2 has demand of 8 units. Okay, and dealer 3 has demand for 7 units. Dealer 4 has requirement of 14 units. So these are either demand or requirement by the different dealers, and 7, 9, 18 are capacity of the plants which they can supply. So let us check either demand is equal to supply or not. So 5, 8, 13 plus 7, 20 plus 14, that is 34. So here demand and supply is equal. So this type of transportation problem is called your balanced transportation problem. Now, I will explain the question, that is the transportation problem. Now, we will find the initial feasible solution by WAM method. We will find the initial feasible solution by the WAM methods. Okay. So, according to the step first, this is your question, and according to the step first, compute a penalty for each row and column in the transportation table. We have to calculate the penalty for each row and column. So we are getting first penalty. So I'm writing it P1 means penalty 1. We will select the two least quantities in the row 1. So two least quantities are in the row 1 is 10 and 19. 19 and 10. So we will reduce the smallest quantity from the second smallest quantity. Means equal to 19 minus 10. So how much will become? 9. Okay. 19 minus 10, that is 9. Similarly, if for the second row, 30 and 40 are the two least quantities. Okay. So we will reduce the smallest quantity from the second smallest quantity. So that is 40 minus 30. So how much will become? 10. Okay. So this is the penalty for second row. Now for the third row. So what are the two least quantities? That are 20 and 8. Okay. So 20 minus 8. 20 minus 8, how much will become? 12. So these are the penalties for row. Okay. These are the penalties for row. Now again, we will find the penalties for column also. So here I am write down, this is first penalty for all the columns. Now, so in the column B1, two least cost are 19 and 40. 19 and 40. So we will reduce the smallest number, that is 19, from the second smallest number, that is 40. So how much will become? That is equal to 40 minus 19. It will become 21. Uh, just like you can hear 21, and the formula that has applied in this cell is also written here that I have selected. Okay, so you can check how this value came. Okay, now for the let's again 40 minus 19. Okay. Now similarly for the second column. For the second column, what are the two least costs are 30 and 8. Here two 30s. So you can take any one. Okay, you can take any one. So 30 minus 8. So equal to 30 minus 8. So how much will become? 22. Okay. So the value come 22. Again for the column 3, what are the two most least quantities? That is 50 and 40. So we will reduce equal to 50 minus 40. So how much will become? 10. Similarly, for the column B4, 10 and 20. 10 and 20 and 10 are two least costs. So we will reduce these two quantity to 20 minus 10. How much will become? 10. Okay. So these are the penalty for columns and these are the penalty for row. Now, according to the step 2, according to the step 2, identify the row or column with the largest penalty. So let us check which have largest penalty. In the row 9, 10 and 12 and from the columns 21, 22, 10, 10. So this 22 has maximum penalty. Okay, this 22 has maximum penalty which occurs in column D2, which is in column D2. So again, go to the step. What we have to do? We will select the minimum per unit transportation cost. We will select the minimum per unit transportation cost on that row or column. So we have a column here and we will select the minimum per unit transportation cost. So in this column, this 8 is your minimum per unit transportation cost. Now let us see in the steps. We will allocate the minimum of supply and demand. So let us check which is minimum. Supply is 18 units, okay, and the demand is 8 units. 18 and 8. Between the 18 and 8, demand demand is minimum. So we will allocate 8 here. Okay, we will allocate 8 here. So let us. I am drawing a circle to allocate the value. I am drawing a circle and I will write here 8. Okay, I am increasing the size. Let's increase the size visible better. This I have written 8. Okay. So we have allocated a cell with quantity 8. Now the demand of D2 has been fulfilled now. Means the demand of D2 was 8 units and he has got 8 units from the plant S3 whose supply capacity was 18 units. So what we have to do? We will draw a vertical line from the column D2. We will draw a vertical line from the column D2 because the demand of column D2 has been exhausted now. Okay, so this I have draw a vertical line which is looking by red color dash line. I have draw a vertical lines. So the demand of D2 has been exhausted now. But how many quantities are left with plant S3? How many quantities are left with S3? Because he has supplied 8 units to the plant dealer D2. So he has given 8 units and his capacity was 18 units. So we will reduce the 8 from the 18. We will reduce the 8 from 18. So how many units will be left? That is that is uh, 10 units. 10 units are left. Okay. Now again see, after giving the 8 units to D2, plant S3 have left with 10 units. We will again check the penalty P2. Let's I have shown this process in the PPT also. Let us check. Let's double check one. Here row penalties are 9, 10, 12. Column penalties are 21, 22, 10, 10. The maximum penalty, that is 22, occurs in column D2. The minimum Cij, that is allocation, in this column is C32, that is 8. So I have allocated 8 units. This 8 units I have write down it by red color. Okay. This is that I have selected. This is the quantity in the PPT I have shown. Okay. Again, we will find the penalties for the row and column. So these are the penalty after exhausting the column, means this column has been exhausted. So we will not take for the calculating the penalty which has been exhausted. So in the next step means when we will calculate penalty 2, we will not consider this column. We will not consider D2 column. So find again two least transportation costs, that is 10 and 19. 10 and 19. So we will reduce the 10 from 19. So how much will become? That is 9. Okay. Again, in this 40 and 60. 40 and 60 are two least costs. So we will reduce 40 from 60. So how much will become? 20. And for row S3, okay. So 40 and 20. 40 and 20 are two least costs. So we will reduce 20 from 40. So how much will become? 20. Again, for column penalty, P1. So P2 now. P2 now. Okay. For the column B1, we have two least cost are 40 and 19. So how much will become after subtracting 19 from 40? So it will become 21. Now, there is no need to calculate the penalty for column D2 because it has already exhausted. So I will draw dash here. I will draw a dash here. Okay. Let's make it bold. by color black. Okay. Now I have make a dash here. Now we will calculate the penalty for column D3. So what are the two least cost are? That is 50 and 40. So we will reduce these two, means 50 minus 40, how much will become? 10. Similarly, in the column D4, in the column D4, 20 minus 10. These are two least cost. So 20 minus 10, so 10 will be done. Okay. So let us see in the PPT that I have already mentioned all these things. So the penalty for row are 9, 20, 20. And here for P2 that is 21, nothing for column D2, and for D3 10, and for D4 10. Now which penalty is maximum between the row and column penalty? So this 21, let us see that I have selected. This 21 penalty is maximum. So we will select the column D1 with minimum per unit transportation cost according to the R step. So let us see in this, which has maximum penalty, we will select the minimum cost between the which has 19, 70 and 40. So which is minimum? That is 90. Okay. So we will allocate the value in 19. And how much value can we allocate? Minimum between the supply and demand. Minimum between the supply and demand. Supply is 7 and demand is 5. So which one is minimum? Demand, that is 5. So we will allocate 5 unit here. So I am drawing a circle. I am drawing a circle with 5 units. Okay. I have allocated 5 units. Sorry. 5 units to S1 D1. Okay. According to this table, I have allocated 5 units to the S1 D1. Now, since the demand of column D2 has been exhausted now, the demand of column D2 has been exhausted now, so we will draw a vertical line from column D2, D1. Okay, we will draw a vertical line from column D1 because the requirement of D1 has been fulfilled. So it has been exhausted now. Now, how many units are left with plant S1? Since it has supplied 5 units and the maximum capacity was of the plant S1 was how much? 7 units. So how many units are left with plant S1 after giving 5 units? That is 2. Means we will have 2 units left with plant S1. So we will cross the 7, okay, and we will write down here 2 because now 2 units are left with plant S1. Okay. So anything else left? No. Again, we will check the penalty P3. Again, we will check penalty P3 and also look all these activities in the PPT also. So I have also allocated, look at here, 5 units to cell S1 D1. Okay, which has minimum cost. So I have allocated 5. Now what is the supply? That is 2. This is left here. Okay, so check on this table that I have also shown in this table. I have also mentioned in the PPT. Now we will again find the penalties. We will again find the penalties. So let's find the penalties. P3. We will not. There is no need to calculate the penalties for D1 and D2 because they are already exhausted. Okay, so we have only two transportation per unit cost, that is 50 and 10. So these are two unit costs which are left. So we will reduce the 10 from 50. So 50 minus 10, how much will become? 40. And in this second row, 60 minus 40, that is 20. Similarly, in the row third, 70 minus 20, how much? 50. Okay. Now, for the column wise, P3, no need to calculate the penalty for column D2. So, we will draw a dash in the column D1. We will draw a dash in column D1. And D2 has already exhausted. So, we will also draw a dash in column D2. Now, find the penalty of column D3. So here two are least quantity, that is 50 and 40. So we will reduce 40 from 50. So how much will become? 10. And in the column D4 also 10 and 20 are two least quantities. So we will also reduce 10 from 20. So how much will become? 10. Okay. So these are the column penalty. Again, we will select the maximum penalty between the column and row penalty. Between the column and row penalty, we will select the maximum penalty. So which has maximum penalty? That is this 50. This 50 is maximum penalty. Look at this. Look at this slide. Here 40 is penalty for row 1, 20 is penalty for row 2, 50 is penalty for row 3. And in the first column, there is no need. In the second column, there is also no need. And in the column D3, penalty is 10, that is 50 minus 40. And for the column D4, here also 20 minus 10, that I have also mentioned, that is 10. Okay. The maximum penalty 50 occurs in row 3, means this. This is the maximum penalty. I have also shown in the here. The maximum penalty occurs in row 3. So we will select row 3 for the allocation. Okay. So among the left cells, that means 70 and 20. Between the 70 and 20, which has minimum cost. The 20 is the minimum cost. Okay. 20 is the minimum cost. So we will allocate the minimum between supply and demand. We will allocate between the minimum of supply and demand. So let us see. Supply is 10 units and demand for D4 is 14 units. Okay. The supply of plant S3 is 10 units and demand for dealer 4 is 14 units. So between supply and demand, which one is less? 10. So we will allocate this 10 to the dealer D4. We will allocate this 10 units to the dealer. I have allocated this 10 units to D4. Okay, this. Now, since the plant S3 has supplied all the units to D4, so how many units are left with plant S3? None. Okay, so we will draw a horizontal line from S3. I have drawn this line to, let us see. I have drawn a horizontal line from S3. Okay. This. Now, in the next term, there is no need to calculate the penalty for S3 because the supply of plant S3 has been exhausted now. Again, let us see. We have to again calculate the penalty P4. We will calculate the penalty 4. So how much penalties are left here? Only 2. 2 penalties are left here and we have to select both of these two. So 50 and 10. So 50 minus 10, that is 40. And here two penalties are left, 40 and 60. So how much will become? 20. Okay. But there is no need to calculate for the penalty for the row 3. So we will draw a dash here. Okay. I have drawn a dash here. Okay. Similarly, we will calculate the column penalty. So there is no need for B1. So I have drawn a dash in this, and also I have drawn a dash in D2 also, because the D2's demand is also exhausted. Okay. Now for the column B3, there is two quantities are left, that is 50 and 40. So what will be the penalty for both of two? That is 50 minus 40, 10. And for the column B4, two quantities are left, that is 10 and 60. So 60 minus 10, how much will it come? 50. Okay. Again, see in the PPT. Let us check this. After allocating this, how much we have to allocate? Okay. So we have looked at this. Again, penalty for row 1, that is 40, penalty for row 2, that is 20, and penalty for column D1, no penalty, penalty for column D2, there is no penalty, penalty for column D3, that is 10, and penalty for column D4 is 50. Okay. So the maximum penalty 50 occurs in column D4, is in this column. In the column B4 has maximum penalty, that is 50. So we will select the column D4. We will select the column D4 and we will allocate the minimum between supply and demand in the minimum per unit transportation cost. Between the 10 and 60, which one is minimum? Let us see in the example. That is in here. Okay. We have to, yes, we have to allocate here. So how much, which one is less? That is between the 10 and 60, 10 is less. Okay. And what is the demand for given? After getting the 10 units, how many units are left with? How many units are left with? D4, that is 4. Because the 10 units he has got from the plant S3. So the requirement of this is now 4. Okay. Again, what happened? From where we have this 20? I think. Okay. So we will allocate the minimum of demand and supply, that is 2. Supply is 2 and requirement is 4. So we will allocate minimum supply, that is 2, in the D4 in per unit cost, that is 10. Control C and control V. Okay. I have allocated 2 units from plant S1 to D4. Okay. Now, again, the supply of plant S1 is exhausted now. The supply of plant S1 is exhausted now. But the requirement of D4 is still remaining with 2 units. Okay. The requirement of is still remaining with 2 units. So we will write down here 2. Again, this 2. Okay. Now, so how many allocations are there? 4. The demand of D4 is still required for 2 units, but the supply of S1 is exhausted now. So we will draw a horizontal line from the S1. Okay, so I have drawn this horizontal line from S1. Let us again check in the PPT. Okay, so that was the maximum penalty, that was 50, occurs in column D4, and the minimum Cij in this column is C14, that is 10. The maximum allocation in this cell is minimum of 2, 4, that was 2. So we will allocate this. It satisfies supply of S1 and adjusts the demand of D4 from 4 to 2, that is 4 minus 2. That I have adjusted in the, look at here. Okay, I have adjusted here. Now, again, we will calculate the penalty P5. P5. Okay. There is no need to calculate the penalty for plant S1 because it has already exhausted. So we will draw a dash in the row R1. Okay. In the row 2, there is two quantities which are 40 and 60. So penalty for both of these two, that is 20. Okay. And for the row 3, there is no need to calculate the penalty. So we will draw a dash here. I have drawn a dash. Similarly, for the column also, I have calculated penalty P5. So there is no need to find the penalty for the column D1. Okay. So I will draw a dash here. Also, there is no need to calculate penalty for column D2. So I will also draw a dash here. Again, here the column D3 has only one quantity, that is 40. So that is 40. So we will write down 40 here. Again, the column D4 has only one quantity, that is one per unit transportation, that is 60. So we will allocate, we will write down here 60. Okay. Now, again, we will check the maximum penalty in P5. So here the penalty is 20 in the row R2, and here the penalties are 40 in D3 and 60 in column D4. So the 60 is maximum penalty. So we will select this cell, and in this column there is no any cost where we can associate it except this 60. So we will allocate all the units between minimum between the supply and demand. Okay. So the plant S2 has supply of 9 units, but the requirement of dealer D4 is 2 units. So he will get 2 units from plant S2. So I am allocating 2 units to the D4. This. I have allocated these 2 units to the uh, D4. Okay. So the demand of D4 is exhausted now. Okay, the demand of D4 is exhausted now. So we will draw a vertical line from D4. So I have drawn a vertical line. Okay, I have drawn a vertical line because the demand of D4 has been exhausted now. And what are the units are left with plant S3 after giving the 2 units to D4? He has now 7 units. Okay, he has the plant S2 has now 7 units. So I will cross the line and I will write down 7 units here. Okay. Now, again, we will calculate the penalty, that is P6. In the first row, there is no need to calculate the penalty. So we will write down a dash here. So I have drawn a dash here. Here, the penalty for this only one cost is left, that is 40. And in the row 3, there is no need to calculate the penalty. So I will draw a dash here. This And in the column, I have calculated P6, that is penalty. There is no need to calculate the penalty for column D1. So I have drawn a dash in column D1, and there is also no need to calculate the penalty for D2. So I will also draw a dash in D2, but D3 has only one uh, transportation cost, that is 40. So we will write down here 40. And also there is no need to calculate the penalty for column D4. So we will also draw a dash in column D4. So I have drawn a dash in column D4. Again, let's check which one has maximum penalty. So this 40 in the row and 40 is also in a D3 column. So this one is single penalty which has maximum. So in this cell, how much we can allocate? The supply of plant S2 is 7 units, and the demand of dealer D3 is also 7 units. So how much we can allocate? So we will allocate all the 7 units to the D3. Okay. So we will allocate these 7 units to this cell. Yes, now I have given. So we will exhaust this supply also and demand also. So I have drawn, I have crossed this 7, I have crossed this 7, and I will also draw a horizontal line from S2. I have drawn a horizontal line from S2, and also I will cross this 7 also. I will cross this 7 also. Yes, okay. So now all the demand and supplies are fulfilled now. All the demands and supplies are fulfilled now. Now get the total initial feasible solution. Get the total initial feasible solution. How? These are the, let us see in this. This is our initial feasible solution. Okay. We have allocated all the cells according to the given condition. Now, what we have to do, we will try to find the initial feasible solution by these are the per unit transportation cost, and the quantity that is given in the circle is are the units which have been shipped from the plants. Okay, so we will multiply the per unit transportation cost into quantity supplied. Just like from the first cell, let us write down here equal to 19 into 5 plus, and the second allocation is D4, means plant DS1 has supplied 5 units to dealer D1 at the rate of rupees 19 per unit, and S1 also supplied 2 units to dealer D4 at the rate of 10 units, rupees 10 units per unit. Okay, so here 10 into plus, again plant S3 has S2 plant S2 has supplied 7 units at the rate of 40. So 40 into 7. Oh, 40 into 7. Okay. And plant S2 also supplied 2 units to dealer D4 at the rate of 60 unit per unit 60. Okay, so we will multiply 60 into 2 plus, again plant S3 has supplied 8 units to dealer D2 at the rate of rupees 8 per unit. So we will multiply 8 into 8 plus, and plant S3 has also supplied 10 units at the rate of 20 rupees per unit. Okay, so we will multiply 20 into 10. So this is the total transportation cost that we have find. Okay. So the value come, that is 779. So I have let us in the slide also this, the minimum total transportation cost is this, that is 779. So this 779 is your initial feasible solution. Okay, and when you will solve, you will also solve this problem by the NWCM method and LCM method. Then you will see that the transportation cost that will come will be more than this, means the amount 779, the transportation cost obtained by the NWCM method and LCM method, all those two costs will be more than this 779. So that's why we can say that the TWAM method is more appropriate. That's why in the initially I told you what, that this method is preferred over the other two methods because the initial feasible solution obtained is either optimal or very close to the optimal solution. Okay, so that's why if any question comes in your exam related to optimality test, then you will apply WAM method. Okay, you will prefer WAM method for the applying. Okay, so this is all about WAM method.